Welcome back to the Prez Podcast. I'm the Prez, your host, and my co-host over here is it's it's Kian. Anyway, so we're gonna do our power rankings going into Week 10, and also preview Thursday's night matchup between the Panthers and the Bears, who have a combined 3 wins and a combined 14 losses. Not great scheduling again for Thursday night football, but I know they got to put a rotation and make every team play at least one Thursday night game. I get it. It's just not exciting. Anyway, let's get into our power rankings. I don't know who went first last week. I think you went first, so I'll go first this week. I'll go first this week. Number 10, it's the Cleveland Browns. Now they beat the Cardinals 27-0. And that's exactly what they should do. The defense should be dominant. And their offense should, take care of the ball and win these games. Not much to say about it. They were facing a rookie quarterback in his first career start in Clayton Tune. And this game should have been like almost 55-0. But the Browns did what they needed to do and took care of business. Deshaun Watson got a little lucky with a touchdown pass going off the bounce of a helmet. But they also did lose Jedrick Willis, which hurts them with Jack Conklin being hurt. So, two tackles hurting is going to be really tough in a matchup going to Baltimore. But, if I told you Browns fans that, hey, Deshaun was going to miss half your games, you're 5-3, you're in the fight for the division, I think you'd take that, and I think you'd take me at number 10. What is your number 10?
At number 10, I have a team that I'm finally putting in these rankings, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, okay.
They've been improving a lot, and they've just been playing a lot more like the team that we've seen in the past few years. And I think this will continue. Of course, we know they had a slow start, but now I think they're getting into full swing, and they're going to be playing very well. And I think they'll only improve from here.
Okay. My number 9 team is the Miami Dolphins. Miami's still not able to win the big game, but you know what? They're getting closer. After falling 21-0, they made a comeback in the second half, got within 7, had a chance to tie it late. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to do so. But things I want to take note of. One, they did keep the game close. I think their defense is improving, and they had a chance to win. I think Vic Fangio is finally dealing it in, getting the right players in the right spots. I'm not a huge proponent of Kansas City's offense. They haven't been great all year long. They've just kind of been subpar in winning with defense, and that's what their defense did to beat Miami. But for Miami, still haven't won that big game. They don't have a marquee win, and something they can hang their hat on. Still have a chance to win the division. Still a game up on Buffalo, 2 games up on the Jets. So it's not like they won't be able to host a game at home in the playoffs. But I want to see them get that big win. So at number 9. It's the Miami Dolphins for me.
Okay, at my number 9, I have the Cleveland Browns. So so pretty close spots. Cleveland, they've been playing pretty great on that defense, and they had a big win over Arizona, shut them out even, and this is what should have happened. So I really don't think you can bring them down or push them up in your opinion of them for now. And when that happens in these kind of games, I feel like there's not much to take. The team that should have won easily, and they're still playing really good. So I have them.
All right. My number 8 team is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, tough road loss in Philadelphia, but there is hope for you Cowboys. One, you had a chance to win this game late. Couple costly penalties, gave up a couple sacks there. It's just so close in the end to making that game, winning that game on the road. But the good news is your schedule is a little light right now, and then Philadelphia's really got some tough games coming out. So even though you're 2 games back, you do play Philadelphia again, and there's a chance Philadelphia loses in a few weeks if you can take care of business. So it's not over if you're Cowboys fans. I think you have a shot. I think you're really figuring out the passing game, and you're able to throw the ball against Philadelphia pretty well, and your defense kept it close. So I think there's hope. But at number 8, I have the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, at number 8 for me, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they're on a bye this week, so
Right.
we can't really say much about them. They have been playing well, and I think that they will continue to improve. But for now, they just need more talent across the board until they're up there with those top teams. So right now they're at 8.
Okay. And my number 7 team is the San Francisco 49ers. Way down here, lost 3 in a row. You know, they did make a big trade on their bye week, getting Chase Young. We'll see, helping their pass rush. I don't think it really was an area of need. I thought they had good pass rush, but pretty easy rental trade for them for a 3rd pick. If he leaves in free agency, they get a compensatory pick to make up for it. The thing with them is they really got to, clean it up and clean up their pass defense and really get Brock Purdy to stop turning the football over. Be an interesting matchup against Jacksonville this week, who is also coming off a bye. So looking forward to that game. But at number 7 in San Francisco, hard to move a team, have them move up or anything like that, especially a team that's lost 3 in a row. So number 7 in San Francisco.
Number 7 for me, I have the Dallas Cowboys. So I think I have a similar spot with you.
You're only one different from me, yeah?
Yeah, and I think that they've been playing pretty well. They had a close game against Philadelphia, ended up having a few penalties and a sack, and ended up coming 1 yard short. So it was a decently close game, but they're still not playing as well as the other teams above them. So I can really only have them at 7 right here.
Okay. All right. My number 6 team is the Jacksonville Jaguars. 6-2. Off the bye, they won 5 in a row after starting 1-2, and now they get a bye and try to get a little healthy. Maybe work on really getting that offense clicking, and they're gonna go right into a tough match with San Francisco. So it's gonna tell us a lot about these teams as we start going to the second half. Jacksonville and San Francisco will be really curious to see, but. I think Trevor Lawrence is still developing in Doug Peterson's offense, and I think there's things to be excited about. They're running the ball better with ETN. So, anyways, they're 6-2, real good chance to win the division. Houston though has beaten them, so who knows? Watch out. Anyways, number 6, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Number 6 for me, I have the Detroit Lions. This is a team that was debating moving up as they have been playing well. They're on a bye this week, so again, I didn't really have them moving. I don't I still think they're kind of in the middle here, maybe a bit better, but there's still teams right around that area that have still proven more, and if they can get a big win, I think that really could launch them up there. But right now, there's just still two good teams above them.
Okay. My number 5 is the Detroit Lions. We have around the same area. So for Detroit, they're 6-2, but if you look at Philadelphia's schedule versus Detroit's schedule, the 1 seed's not out of the question. There's a lot of football to be played left. Philadelphia loses 2 more. You run the table with Detroit, and you look at that schedule. They have multiple games against Chicago. They still have a lot of divisional games. They have not so tough games. They have a game against the Chargers, a team that's won 2 in a row and played really good defense the last couple of weeks. They've gotten healthy. It'd be an interesting challenge between the Chargers pass rush and that really good offensive line of the Lions. That'll be a really good test for this Lions team coming off the bye. I think we'll learn a lot about what kind of tier they are in, but I think we've kind of seen a conference breakdown where the top of the AFC is better than the NFC, and it didn't look like that way in the beginning of the year, but it's really starting to become clear that the NFC and AFC there's a clear difference, especially on defenses. So really curious to see what Detroit does in that game. But if you're a Lions fan, you got to be excited. 6-2, pretty excited, and getting Amon-Ra maybe a little time to be healthy off the bye. Good for them. All right, number 5, Detroit Lions.
Okay, number 5 for me, I have the San Francisco 49ers. And another team on a bye, and again, they haven't been playing as well. Hopefully, coming out of the bye, they'll play better. Their defense hasn't been playing that well, and they haven't been that consistent. But still, when they've been well, they've been very good, and they've just got a lot of talent. I don't know if we can trust them that much, but they've still just been very good in the past. Hopefully, for the 49ers, this isn't what we've seen the past few weeks isn't what we're going to see in the future for them, but it might be, and that won't be good for them.
Alrighty. My number 4 team is the Cincinnati Bengals, skyrocketing up the rankings just because of how well they've been performing the last 3 weeks, beating teams with at least 5 wins, and just doing it in dominating fashion, winning on the road, winning at home, doesn't matter, they're taking care of business, and Joe Burrow, folks, all the way back. Looks healthy, running around the pocket, making Joe Burrow-esque plays, throwing the ball over the field, and the defense who's doing what their defense does, playing well in good matchups, creating turnovers, causing pressure on opposing offenses. It's going to be an interesting race down the stretch for this AFC North division, and I think the Bengals are right in the thick of it. And who knows? They were your AFC Super Bowl pick. They're trending. They're getting hot at the right time. They're getting healthy at the right time. So watch out for the Cincinnati Bengals. They're my number 4 team.
Okay, my number 4 team is the Miami Dolphins. This is a team that I'm still not really sure where to put them. I feel like they could be a lot worse than I think they might be, but from them, I don't feel like we've seen them play that bad yet. I mean, they've played very well and they've played okay. They haven't really beaten one of those other great teams, but I feel like I don't know if they should. And right now, I feel like they are in that middle of the pack. So right now, for me, the Dolphins are at 4.
Okay. All right, my number 3 team is the Kansas City Chiefs. And still worried about that offense. Defense, lights out. I mean, you hold the best passing team in the league to under 200 yards passing. Pretty impressive. And I think they may be the best defense that Mahomes has had in his tenure as, or you could say as Andy Reid's tenure as a head coach in Kansas City, honestly. They're playing that well. And they're healthy and they're a good unit and they're causing havoc. Now, Kansas City has a division, pretty good standing. They got tie-breaking wins over Miami and Jacksonville. So, they're on a path to getting home field, but I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of good defense being played in the AFC. In the playoffs, they got to figure out what's going on in their offense. It's not good to be shut out for a complete second half against a middle-of-the-road defense in the Dolphins, even though they're playing better. So that's why I'm at number 3. Really concerned. Not a lot of balance in this team.
Number 3, I have the Ravens. Moving into the top 3, they're still getting better and they're still playing very good, and I think that they could potentially be a top 2 team in this league. And I still feel like with only seeing them make this big improvement on how we've perceived them, at least. Recently, the teams above them, I still have them higher, but it's very close, and they could definitely be a top 2 team, maybe even the best team. But I don't feel like I'm ready to put them there.
Okay.
So right now I have them at 3.
Okay. My number 2 team, even though they won last week, I'm dropping them to number 2. That's the Eagles. And here's why. Close call after close call after close call after close call after close call. And this really is a dropping in disparity between the NFC and the AFC. They play some tough AFC teams. I'm not sure what the Eagles' record is. I'm really not. We're going to find out a lot when they play Kansas City. Super Bowl rematch. It's not going to be 38-35. I'll tell you what. That game is not going to be 38-35. It's going to be way more less. It's going to be way less scoring, just because of the matchup. It's going to be highly physical and a good football game, but it's not going to be that high scoring. That's just not where those teams are at right now. Something still is wrong with Jalen Hurts. I think he's injured and playing through it. He doesn't move. His mobility is hampered. I don't know if it's a knee or something, but he's very careful with his body, which is smart. I want quarterbacks to be safe and not get hit. We've got too many injuries in the NFL as is. But this Philadelphia team is not dominating like they were last year. I know they're the only one-loss team left in the NFL. I get it, but they're just not the best team in my eyes, and that's why I have them at number 2.
Okay, at number 2, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. So of course they've still been playing well. It was a touchdown game against the Dolphins, and their defense has been playing very well, but they still haven't reached that top level with their offense and their defense combined, and I don't feel like they're deserving of that number 1 right now against a middle of the road team, the Dolphins. But they've still been playing very well, and they could definitely beat that number 1 team. So I have them at 2. I don't really know what to say.
All right, my number 1 team is the Baltimore Ravens. Just dominating teams, just straight smashing people, and it's over. Like if you get down against this Baltimore team, and they can unleash the relentless pressure that they give you, and it's coming from all angles. They'll send corners, they'll do zone blitzes, they'll drop, but they're not even disguising it. Sometimes they're just like, hey, we're bringing 6, try to throw the ball against us, and teams are putting themselves in bad positions. And their run defense is stuffing people. So we'll see what happens. They've got some tough games coming up. They got to play Cleveland again. Of course, they have matchups with Cincinnati still. So we'll see what happens with this Baltimore team. But right now, I'd argue to tell me a team playing better football than the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can't. You really can't. So that's why the Ravens are number 1.
Okay, at number 1, I have the Eagles. I mean, it was a close game against the Cowboys. The Cowboys definitely could have won that game. But the Eagles are still playing very well, and I don't feel like they've changed that much. I don't think they've gotten worse. So I still feel like they're the best team in the league. Well, at least they've proven that they're the best the most. I could definitely see the Chiefs or the Ravens being the best team in the league. But the Eagles just have proven more of how good they can play. And when they do play well, they play very well. And you could say the same for 2 and 3, but I still feel like they're just right now have proven that they're the best team in the league.
Okay. All right. Thursday night pick. Carolina at Chicago. I wish this was more of a battle for like picks and stuff, but Carolina gave away their pick for Bryce Young to Chicago. So Chicago beats Carolina. Then they move down and lose pick standings, but at least they keep Carolina at the top or close to it, right behind Arizona. Anyway, it's the Who Cares Bowl. It's DJ Moore revenge game, as you said. Yeah, it's just Justin Fields may come back. Unsure. He was limited participant in practice. I like Tyson Bagent and watch him play. I know he threw 3 picks. He'll get better. So why not roll him out of there? I don't think you're going to re-sign Fields. I think you draft a quarterback in this draft class. I think you fire Matt Eberflus. I think you start over. You get fire Ryan Poles as a GM. The guy that traded away Roquan Smith to the Ravens, who are now using him and dominating with him. Just start over. Start over, Bears. In Carolina, you are just starting over. So hopefully you get a win. But I'm going to take the Bears at home.
I mean, yeah, they're 2 of the worst teams in the league. And I mean, yeah, it's a DJ Moore revenge game. I feel like that's the only noteworthy thing about this game. I have the Panthers winning because I feel like they could potentially win an upset game.
Okay.
I mean, if it would be considered an upset,
I don't know if you
I
consider
don't know.
beating a 2-7 team an upset, but technically speaking, the Bears are favored by 3. So I guess it is an upset. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be a close game. The Bears are at home, but I don't know. I just think the Panthers might have a better chance of pulling it out, in my opinion. So I'm picking the Panthers.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, those are our rankings and our pick for Thursday night. Thank you for listening and watching. Please have a good rest of the week, and we'll be back with our picks for the Sunday, Monday games later this week. Take care.